Hello and good morning, and welcome to the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living, a place that welcomes everyone who's on a spiritual journey, which I'd say is pretty much everyone, in my opinion. So I invite you to relax wherever you are, at home or here in the sanctuary, settle into your chair, and just breathe. Just in and out. Don't have to force the breath. All you're doing is just noting it. You can say to yourself, I'm breathing in and out. And the purpose of this is just to focus our mind, settle, relax the body, and just get into a place of comfort and relaxation where all you need to do is be, which is pretty close to doing nothing. So just allow yourself to be. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now I invite you to visualize a gentle stream of energy coming in somewhere above your head. And it's like a mist. It's gently floating down, and it brings deep relaxation wherever it touches your scalp. And it moves lower, easily moving down towards your neck, front and the back. You can feel your muscles lighten and release as you feel that comforting energy settle over your skin and go inside your muscles a little bit too. And that mist of energy continues to go lower and lower. Your shoulders, your upper arms, your torso. You can feel your back loosen up. And it continues to go lower through the rest of your torso, your hips, upper thighs, until it gets to your feet. And you can feel your whole body relax now. And wherever your body is touching, either the ground or the chair or both, or your bed or your couch, you can feel the energy just flowing out through your feet and into the earth, into the object you're on. Just take a moment to allow that relaxing energy still coming in from on top of you, going through you. Just feel that for a few moments. If there's any places in your body where you do feel tension, you can direct that relaxing energy to those places. And just continue to breathe. Breathing in, and breathing out. And as that energy moves through you and out through your feet, I invite you to visualize it almost looking like roots extending out from your body into the earth. Continuously moving down through the soil, finding other roots to intermingle with. And you feel yourself very grounded, not stuck, but just grounded. A beautiful, comforting, relaxing energy going above and through your body and out into the earth. Just breathing in and breathing out at a regular rhythm. So we'll take the next few moments in silence, and I'll say the odd affirmation as time goes on. All you need to do is breathe and be. Today I remind myself that I am always at choice. That often I cannot choose what happens in the world, but I am always able to choose how I respond. I am always at choice. there is a single one power, a consciousness that pours itself into everything that it creates. And I am of that one power. I am of that consciousness. What is true for me is true for all. And because that's true, I know that there truly are no others. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Just as our bodies are always breathing in and breathing out, whether we focus on it or not, perhaps that's also true for those energetic roots that are going out of your feet right now into the earth. Perhaps it's always true that the earth is here to ground us, keep us stable. And perhaps it's also true that that radiant, soft energy that's flowing into you is always there, whether you take the time to note it or see it or not. Perhaps it's always there, just waiting for you to sense it, to allow it to wash over you and through you. As you're breathing in and as you're breathing out. And now, dear one, it is time to ever so slowly bring yourself back into your body. You can wiggle your toes or wiggle your fingers as you slowly re-engage in your physical state. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So my name is Lance Rath, spiritual practitioner here at the center. Thank you for joining me for meditation. The service will start in about 8 minutes. Namaste.
I've been dreaming, friendly faces. I've got so much time to kill. Just imagine people laughing. I know someday they will. But even if it's far away, get me through another day. Cover me in sunshine, shower me with good times. Tell me that the world's been spinning since the beginning. Everything will be alright. Cover me in sunshine. From a distance, all these mountains are just some tiny hills. Wildflowers keep on growing while they are just standing still. I've been missing yesterday, but what if there's a better place? Cover me in sunshine, shower me in good times. Tell me that the world's been spinning since the beginning. Everything will be alright. Cover me in sunshine, shower me with good times. Tell me that the world's been spinning since the beginning. Everything will be alright. Cover me in sunshine. La 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 la. La 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 la. Cover me in sunshine, shower me with good times. Tell me that the world's been spinning since the beginning. Everything will be alright. Cover me in sunshine, shower me with good times. Tell me that the world's been spinning since the beginning. Everything will be alright. Cover me in sunshine.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's wonderful to see your faces. Everybody look around and look at each other's faces. It's been such a long time, and if you are watching on our love stream, just know that we are here, and we have people who are masked. We have people who are not masked. We are going with the government recommendations of all restrictions lifted. So we are here and we are loving it. Awesome. So, in-person people, we have a new way of you greeting the love stream people. If you'll turn around and look at George Clooney, really look at George Clooney. Woo-hoo-hoo. So, our intention as we move along is to continue to provide a hybrid service. So we will be here in person, and we will also have our people who are watching from the love stream all over the country, all over the North America. Certainly, those of you who are not ready to come back yet, know that you are missed, and we know that you're here as well. So everybody give yourselves a hand for being here today. Woohoo! If you are new to the center, and I think we have a couple people who are new to us today, I'll introduce myself. I'm Pat Campbell, and I am the spiritual director of the center. And if you haven't been to a Center for Spiritual Living before, there's many things to know about us, but probably the most important one is that we are a very welcoming, very inclusive community, and we honor whatever path you're on. So if you came here on a different kind of a path and you just wanted to come check us out, that's wonderful. You're welcome here. If you were raised in metaphysics, that's awesome. Welcome. You're welcome here. And if you just know this is your tribe, these are your people, you are welcome here. We're just so happy that you're choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us today. we're going to start out by singing what we call our Kong song, and that is a song that was written by Amy Bishop and Gary Lynn Floyd, one of our other New Thought musicians. You guys know this one. It's super easy to learn, so audience, stand up. If you're at home, if you want to stand up, let's stand up and sing.
Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground. Through this courage I've found, the sky is calling. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. What's right, what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I've found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. One step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time.
Yeah, that's a dandy. Thank you so much. I just got to say, it's so nice to see faces smiling back at me. You know, we, the 6 of us, the 8 of us, have been doing this exact same thing for 2 years. We've been doing this service every single Sunday for the past 2 years. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, indeed. But it was to an empty room for a really long time. So it's really, really delightful to see your faces. And to see your faces, even though I can't see them, I know you're here. And I love you. So let me tell you what's going on here at the center. You know, we're starting to kind of gear up. You're probably wondering about some of the things that we had going that we're not quite ready to bring back yet. Our Fun Day program is in the works. Stay tuned for an announcement in a week or so. The Soul Shop, same thing. When it's ready to open up, the coffee service, same thing. You know, we're just kind of gearing up to move back into being a full service in-person thing. So just stay tuned for all of that stuff. Which brings me to our membership drive. So, you know, we have people who have been members of this center forever, and I do mean forever. And even if you have been a member forever, you still need to renew every year. We want to keep our membership list clean. So what we're asking you, if you're an existing member, to please just go ahead and rejoin. And you can do that by going online to calgarycsl.org, select Get Involved, select Membership, and it just asks you a couple questions. You say yes, and then you register as a member. That's an existing member. If you are a new member, like you're like, this is the coolest place ever, I want to call this my spiritual home, do the exact same thing, but where it says get involved, you say, I'm a new member. And then what will happen on, I think the date is April 10th, which is Palm Sunday, by the way, we're going to have a membership welcome. And we're going to have, you all come here, and we're going to have a little special ceremony for you. And it involves nothing having to do with biting the head off of a live chicken. Or does it? No, I'm just kidding. And then the reason why you would be doing this is so that you can be part of the AGM, our annual general meeting, and vote. And mostly it's important to say, this is my spiritual home. This is where I belong. There's something about that that's just very, very powerful. So if you will do that, and you can find all that information in the website. We have Laughter Yoga that is going to be this coming Friday night at 6:30, led by Sharon Faulkner and Heather Baradia. Woo, yay! And if we think that Laughter Yoga is all just getting together and telling each other jokes, that's not how this works. Laughter Yoga, is an actual practice, and it doesn't involve any jokes. It involves using your body to laugh and to do things that cause you to laugh, but it expels energy, it expels air, it gets you moving, it works your core. I mean, it really is a spiritual practice. So if you haven't done it before, join Sharon and Heather. It works really well on Zoom, Friday night. The Zoom codes are in the newsletter and also on the website. And it's a love offering. And you're going to love it so much, you're going to offer something. So anyway, that's this coming Friday at 6:30, and that's open to everybody. The 2022 Peace Walk, which has been, with like-minded people, been going on for quite a long time, is Saturday, March 26th, the end of the month. And next week, Tina Thrussell will be coming and kind of talking about it and explaining what the background is. But just mark that in your calendars. And then our ongoing groups continue to go on. The Consciousness Seekers, led by Ron Hahn, one of our practitioners, our longest going group gathering, that's still on Zoom for now. Coffee with Dr. Pat, that's with me, noon on Wednesdays. We have a wonderful time. Thursday night, the ministers and practitioners put on a meditation. And then our Saging Circle, Neil and Sandra, who are here, run the Saging Circle. And this is for our wisdom keepers. This is for our people 60 and above, 55 and above, who like to be with like-minded people, but they also talk about things that matter. Things that are important. They learn things. It's really an awesome group. What'd you tell me you had yesterday? 21 people show up on Zoom for this group. So, I mean, it's really it is a serious as in really happening group within our center. Not that, we're old enough to have that many seniors, but, you understand what I'm saying here. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now because Amy's going to start to sing, and Lance is going to come up, and we're going to do our sacred time. We've taken care of all the business. Okay, dates and times and Zooms and all that other stuff. And now we're just going to begin to prepare ourselves for the spiritual message. So Amy is going to lead us in a chant, and Lance is going to give us our spiritual mind treatment. So just close your eyes if that's comfortable and be open.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love.
And in this moment, I surrender to that realization that there is just that one power, that one singular consciousness, that one that pours itself into everything that's in this universe. It pours its intelligence, its consciousness, its love, its joy, its harmony, its creative power into and through everything. And that includes me. And what is true for me, I know is true for everyone here and everyone listening. That one love is just seeking to express right now through me. It is flowing into me and out through me. That single intelligence, always accessible, always within me, providing the next step. Providing the next choice. Providing the next action of love. A hug, a nod, a smile. And so I receive that realization. I embrace it. I know it. I fall into it, and I am grateful for it. And now I release my word, and if you feel like it, you can say it with me. And so it is.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love.
Do I jump right in?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So the practitioners and ministers will be doing this. So follow along with me with our vision statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world for everyone. Easy for you all to say. All right, and now our mission statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of living and thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness.
Thank you, Lance, for your beautiful treatment. Thank you, Amy and Steph, for that beautiful song. Well, don't go sit down. You're going to come back up and sing. Okay? You know, I've shared this so many times. I come up with these obscure names for my talks, and I do it on purpose to keep people guessing. But I really shouldn't keep the musicians guessing about what I'm going to talk about. It works better when I kind of give them a clue as to what the talk is going to be about. But this time, did I give you a clue?
Little bit.
Little bit of a clue. And lo and behold, she came up with songs that I couldn't have chosen better songs to fit the topic. So please welcome Elevation featuring Amy Bishop.
We dreamers have our ways, facing rainy days, and somehow we survive. We keep the feeling warm, protect them from the storm, until our time arrives. And then the sun appears, and we come shining through these lonely years. I made it through the rain, I kept myself protected. I made it through the rain, I kept my point of view. I made it through the rain, and found myself respected by the others who God rained on to, and made it through. When friends are hard to find and life seems so unkind, sometimes you feel afraid. Just aim beyond the clouds and rise above the crowds and make your own parade. 'Cause when I chase my fears away, well, that's when I know that I can finally say I made it through the rain, kept my world protected. I made it through the rain, I kept my point of view. I made it through the rain, and found myself respected by the others who God rained on to, and made it through. I made it through the rain, I kept my world protected. I made it through the rain, my point of view. I made it through the rain, and I found myself respected by the others who God rained on to, and made it through. Oh, and made it through. And made it through. And made it through.
Elevation, Amy Bishop, Oliver Miguel on saxophone, Steph Chapin on keys, Luis Tovar on drums and percussion, Lisa Jacobs on bass. We are so blessed. Yeah. Can you hand me my thing when you can? Thanks, Steph. You're good. You're good. You look handsome today in your jacket, hey? You look good. Yeah, he's a cutie. Yeah, not just today, not just today. I love that song, Thank You, because doesn't that kind of feel like what today is? Yeah. We made it. We made it. I know. But it sounds better than, I made it through the pandemic. You know, not quite the same thing. Would you breathe with me, please? Let's take in a deep breath. And again. And one more time at your own pace. Nice, thank you. As always, I love breathing with you. And as I make the joke, it beats the alternative of not breathing, but I love breathing with you. I love breathing with you. We're all connected, so when we take one breath, we are inspiring together. So, it can be challenging to be on a spiritual path or an awakening way of life these days. It seems like every other day we get some sort of a news to be concerned about or worried about or frightened or pissed off about, unless we're super, super careful. If you recall last week, I said, I've had enough of this. We're going to do something different. And we went on a journey together of looking for mysteries and miracles that are around us all the time. And we explored this wonderful statement of what you focus on expands. And what we learned is that the things that we appreciate, the things that we acknowledge, the things that we bless and celebrate are going to appear in our lives more often because we're looking for them. Does that make sense? We're going to find what we're looking for. Always, 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 we're going to find what we're looking for. And so one of the things that I love best about living this purposeful life, this mindful life most of the time, sometimes it's mindless, but this mindful life, is that I can redirect my thinking. I can redirect my focus and subsequently have a different experience. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, used to start his TV show or his radio show way, way back in the day with the statement, change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your life. Simple, right? Except for when it's not. Except for when life keeps showing up in ways that we didn't want or we didn't expect. And if you're like me, you're like, wait a minute here. I'm thinking positive. I'm doing the work. I'm reading the books. I'm hanging out with the right people. I'm doing all the right things. How is it that this thing showed up in my life? Anybody? Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Life keeps showing up. As long as we are having a human experience, spiritual beings having a human experience, life is going to keep showing up. And we're going to like some parts of it, and we're going to not like some parts of it. Now, of course, all of us, we want the good stuff, right? We want the happy, and we want the loving, and the joyful, and the peaceful parts of life. Who doesn't want that? Everybody wants that. But that isn't always how life shows up. Sometimes, even when we're doing the work, life shows up in ways that we may not like, but that can call us to grow. Because life is also all about growth. It's imperative. Life grows. We grow because life grows. And as we know, growth is not always a cakewalk. Sometimes it's a slog. Sometimes it finds that we have somehow ended up on the wrong path. Sometimes it means that we have take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But the key is, as long as we are still moving forward, then we're moving in the right direction. As Victor Kim wrote, I love this, even if you fall on your face, you're still moving forward. But what happens is that we step onto our spiritual path, whether it's because we've discovered a center like this, or maybe we have a friend who's into it, or maybe we started with a 12-step program I did, or a book, or a podcast, or a friend brought us someplace, or maybe we just had like one of those cosmic downloads, right? And so we get on our spiritual path and we look around and we see that people are having some success. And so we think, well, then that obviously happens like right away, right? By golly, I've been thinking positively for a whole day. Where's my goodies? But here's the thing again. We may be making changes for the better. Absolutely. I know that's true. But I also know that a lot of us, nay, shall I say, all of us, have had a lot of years of making not the best choices, not using the best judgment, not exhibiting the best behaviors. And so what happens is this idea of life is going to all of a sudden give us all of the goodies immediately and wonderfully isn't going to happen, because I don't want to call it the wreckage of our past, but it kind of is. As a 12-step program or 12-step idea is that we've got all of this stuff, and then we got 1 day or a year or 3 months or 6 years or anything like that of positive thinking. This stuff is also happening. This stuff is also life showing up. Are you with me? You understanding what I'm talking about? Now, can we have like this wonderful, like, something just show up and be wonderful? It can happen. We've all experienced what I call grace, when an unexpected but very welcome change in our circumstances happens, seemingly out of nowhere. But what's more likely to happen is that life starts to get better as we start to get better. Are you hearing me? Ernest Holmes says humanity will find a better God when they become a better humanity. So what happens is, as we grow in consciousness, as we grow in the awareness that this good is all around us, then we start to see it. Then we start to experience it. And growing that consciousness comes sometimes from experiencing something that we may not love, but moving through it with grace and strength. So as I was preparing this talk, I was reminded of a wonderful teaching story. I haven't used it for a while, and I don't know why, because I just love it. It's called There's a Hole in My Sidewalk, an autobiography in 5 short chapters, and it's written by Portia Nelson. Some of you will recognize it, I'm sure. Chapter 1, I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I'm lost. I'm helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it's there. I still fall in. It's a habit, but my eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5, I walk down another street. I just love this story, and I'm so glad that I rediscovered it, because it is such a visual image of what it is I'm talking about this. Sometimes life shows up as a hole in our sidewalk. And we fall in and we don't know what to do, and it's not my fault, and this isn't what I wanted. But each time we do it and we get through it, we gain a little bit more insight. We have a little bit more understanding, and ultimately, we have the ability to change the pattern and take a different street. It's one of the benefits of spiritual growth. Another way of putting it is growth is stepping over things you used to trip on. Now, this may seem like kind of a bummer. Someone is expecting that life is going to get automatically so much better right away. And like I said, it can happen. I've seen people who have had results almost immediately. But what usually happens is that people experience shifts in their consciousness in direct proportion to the shift that they view the world as. I'm going to say that again. I want to make sure I get it right. People experience shifts in their consciousness in direct proportion to how they're seeing the world. And that shift happens when we stay on the path, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, either when it seems easier to go back the other way. Because when we keep moving, in spite of challenges, in spite of temptations, we become more of ourselves. We become more sure of our choices. In other words, as we keep moving forward through the rain, we begin to develop our intuition. And we begin to trust ourselves. We begin to trust our inner wisdom. So I have this visual image of somebody who's, trudging along their path, doing their thing, they're walking along, but they're being buffeted around by life showing up, right? But they keep on going. They're not loving it by any means, but they also know that they're growing stronger. They're weathering the storm. They are building their spiritual muscles. And because they've done it before, they know that they can trust that eventually the storm will pass. The sun will come out again. That would have been a song. The sun will come out again, and the path is going to be easier because that is what life does. When we keep moving, despite the challenges, despite the storms, the sun comes out. It just does. The sun comes out tomorrow. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. And we are stronger because we stayed the path and we came out on the other side. Albert Camus said, sometimes carrying on, just carrying on, is the superhuman achievement. Take that in. Now, some of you may be thinking again, I don't want to hear about how life is hard. I know life is hard. I want to hear about how life is on my side. I want to hear about how blessed I am. And ultimately, if you think about it, and ironically, that is actually what we're talking about here. Because regardless of how challenging things have been, life with a capital L always keeps showing up. In our teaching, when something is capitalized, like a word life, it means an aspect or a facet of God or whatever you want to call the source of everything. And so when I say that life with a capital L keeps showing up, it means that ultimately, whatever it is that we call it, whether it's life or love or peace or joy or intelligence or power, it does keep showing up in our lives because it can't help itself. It's what it does. Each one of us is life knowing itself as us. Each one of us is life knowing itself as us. We can't be separate from it. It's impossible. No matter how hard we try, we cannot be separate from it. Ernest Holmes put it this way: we live because life lives in us. We move because there is a universal energy activating us. We think because there is a universal mind thinking through us. We exist because the Spirit has seen fit to give us life. The divine spark is in everyone. So even when life with a small L shows up as a challenge or as a difficulty, life with a capital L is also right there, even if we can't see it at the time. And the reason why we know that it's there, we can trust that it's there, is because we have been moving forward. We have been growing stronger. So we know that we can trust it even if we can't see it. And at some point, we realize that we are a channel through which it works. We are a channel. We are an instrument. We are a vehicle through which it works. So let's take, for instance, what's happening right now in Ukraine. I know, sorry. We watched in horror as a much larger, scarier superpower invaded this fairly new sovereign nation. And many of us had really strong reactions to this unprovoked act of war. I'm sure most of us said and thought some pretty angry things about what was happening. But almost as quickly, at least in my circles, our thoughts and our words turned from anger to peace. Almost as if by magic. It went from to we need to be spreading peace. We need to be thinking peace about this. And it wasn't just happening in my tree-hugging circles. Practically the entire world has taken up the mantle for peace. Haven't you seen those pictures where all of the identifying things in cities all over the world are colored in those Ukrainian colors of yellow and blue and gold? The Eiffel Tower, the White House, the Statue of Liberty, the Parliament House in Ottawa. In other words, life as peace keeps showing up, even in the midst of its seeming opposite. So I want to close with a portion of an essay that showed up on Facebook yesterday. I know people tease me about my use of Facebook, but I got to tell you, Facebook is my friend, and it keeps showing up for me. No, social media, I swear to God, the aspect of life showed up to bring me exactly what I needed to close this talk, exactly when I needed it. Some of you have seen it, I'm sure. It's called Soul on Deck and was written by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who is an activist and a professor. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world, will help immensely. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, adding to, adding more, continuing, contributing. We know that it does not take everyone on earth to bring justice and peace, but only a small, determined group who will not give up during the first, second, or 100th gale. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, build signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire. To display the lantern of soul, I love that phrase, to display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy towards others, both are acts of extreme bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you can do, is to share your soul, share your light, share your peace. In other words, by staying our course, by staying on our path, whatever path that we are on, but is taking us and moving us forward, we can be an aspect, we can be a channel of life showing up for ourselves and for the world. Thank you so much for showing up here today, and thank you for staying with us all this time. I love you all. And so it is. Can I hand this to you before you do that? Thank you. Please welcome again our always amazing, always elevating, elevation.
I have sailed a boat or two out on the wild blue yonder too. Dreams rarely come true. And as far as I can see from this island of green, I can put my trust in just one thing. Only love sails straight from the harbor, and only love will lead us to the other shore. And out of all the flags I've flown, one flies high and stands alone. Only love. Peaceful waters, raging sea, it's all the same to me. I can close my eyes and still be free. And when the rain comes crashing down and thunder rolls around, I can feel my feet on solid ground. Only love sails straight from the harbor, and only love will lead
Only love for elevation. Good job. Thank you guys so much. So if you haven't been back here live for all of this time, we've changed things up just a little bit. We trying to keep it at a certain time. How am I doing? I'm doing really good. So I'm not going to go into a whole big, long explanation about why it's important to tithe to your spiritual source. But it is important to tithe to your spiritual source, to your spiritual home, to keep it going. You know, when you say, this is my spiritual home, just like you do for your own home, you take care of it. And we've had a lot of people who have been doing that, even though we've been in isolation and restrictions for all of this time. So if you are one of those people who has consistently supported the center in generous ways, thank you. Thank you so much for that. And so we're still going to do our collection here in person, and there are ways also that you can support us on the Love Stream. You can send an e-transfer. That's mostly for the people in Canada. It doesn't work in the States, but you can go to our website and use PayPal. You can send a check. We like checks. You can call the office and talk to Lance and have it taken off your credit card or your debit. And you can join our conscious commitment, which just means that you sign up to have a portion taken out at the beginning of the month. And that way you know you're doing it in case you're not here or in case you forget. So all of those are ways that you can contribute. For those of us who are here in person, we're going to have Lance and Lori as our ushers today. We're going to say our conscious giving affirmation. So I invite you to take your tithes, your gift, your offering, your donation, hold it to your heart. Infuse it with love. Infuse it with peace. Infuse it with energy. And let's say our conscious giving affirmation together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And so it is, and we're going to sing Life today.
Life, nice.
I thank life for everything, okay? So stand up if you'd like to.
I thank life for everything. 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 Yeah. I thank life for everything. I thank life for everything. I thank life for everything. I thank life for everything.
And another thing that we changed, instead of saying the affirmations, we're working with energy these days. So we rub our hands together, and we get all that good energy and all that good juju going, and we're going to send it out to where it's needed. But what we've been doing for a while is that we also want to send some of that good energy to ourselves as well, right? And so we're going to bless ourselves as we're sending the energy out to wherever it's needed, okay? All righty, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, whoosh.
You can never know what it's like. Blood like wind speeds just like ice. And it's cold and only light that shines from you. And you wind up like the wreck you hide inside that mask you use. And did you think the fool could ever win? Look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could have hoped to win, starting down the road to leave me again. But the threats you made were meant to cut me down. But if your love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 We're fading out. I'm still standing, yeah.